What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Mike, and today's video is going to be on 5 league winning trade targets. The trade targets videos are always well received on this channel. I'm super excited to bring you this one. Let me know in the comment section below who you think are some sneaky buy low players. Maybe these players are mentioned in this video, and maybe I can use some of those players who aren't mentioned for a future video. If you're not in the Discord already, make sure you join in. The link will be in the description below. If you're having trouble getting in, just let me know. There are hundreds of awesome hockey fans in our Discord actively talking, actively asking us questions, and we're doing our best to respond. Thank you so much for all the continued support. Let's go for 150 likes in this video. McDavid's point total at the end of this season. If you want to make some money playing fantasy hockey or just take your fantasy hockey to the next level, head over to PrizePick, use code PUCK, and receive a 100% deposit match up to $100. I'm giving my picks away in the Discord, and they've been doing very well so far. So if you're looking for some advice, head over to our Discord. Without further ado, let's jump into the 5 league winning trade targets video. This has to be one of the most talked about players in our Discord. People just don't know what to do with Hedman right now, and for me, I'm looking to trade for him. I want to buy in on Victor Hedman at his lowest point we've seen him in arguably the last 3 years. And the reason I mention that is look at his defenseman ranking since 2019. 185 points, ranks 3rd amongst defensemen. 510 shots, ranks 9th. 40 goals, ranks 4th, and he's played almost 5,000 minutes, which ranks him 4th amongst defensemen. So not only is he a safe defenseman that will give you a ton of minutes, but he has just been very, very strong offensively. Now, I get the immediate concern. Sergachev is on power play 1, but is he really? If you watched the Leafs last game, it looked like Hedman was moved up to that top power play unit. And if people are selling on Victor Hedman as a top 100 defenseman or a defenseman outside of the top 100 just because he's not in power play 1, this really makes no sense. Imagine Sergachev gets hurt. Does Hedman instantly become a top 15 pick like he was in the drafts? I'm looking to buy in on this guy at the lowest point of his season, and honestly one of the worst seasons of his career. He's due for a bounce back. This Tampa team's very good. He's at 1.1 points per 60 right now, minus 50% from his 3-year average. 5.0 shots on goal per 60, minus 20% from his 3-year average, but he's still averaging over 24 minutes per night, almost 25 minutes, just a little decrease of 30 seconds from 2021. He was a second rounder going into this season, one of the top defensemen off the draft board, and now he's being thrown away by many teams. And if you want some trade targets for him, it's honestly hard for me just because I don't know your league settings, but someone like Noah Dobson, Shea Theodore, or maybe someone that's been very hot like Jacob Morrissey, someone might bite on these trade targets. I'm looking to buy into Hedman's low value right now. Moving on to the next league winning trade target, we have Zach Hyman of the Edmonton Oilers, left wing, right wing eligible, and just 90% owned over on Yahoo. This guy should be over 95% owned, and I just want to reiterate that he is not a buy low target. I just think his value is a little bit less than what people are currently valuing him at, making him a perfect trade target. 25 games played, 26 points, 92 shots, and 31 hits. He's been covering the categories. His floor is extremely high, but not to mention his ceiling when he's playing on line 1 with McDavid and Draisaitl and that team's lethal top power play unit. Their power play 1 is crazy. I can't believe it when I looked and McDavid had 23 power play points. He's on pace for 75 this season. Just absurd. Anyways, going back to Hyman. 15.1 expected goals for, the best expected goals for rate in the NHL, and he's at a minus 6.1 goals above expected, meaning he's the second most unlucky player in the NHL. Just 9 goals this season, and he should be at 15. Maybe he is a little bit of a buy low target. 4 shots on goal per game since Evander Kane's injury, and before that he was about 3 shots per game, and he was averaging about 18 minutes time on ice, but since injury he's been up over 21 minutes, 22 minutes. He's now sitting at 20-34 average time on ice this season, a plus 1 minute increase from last year. Kane's out 3 to 4 months. Hyman's going to be playing a big role to let this Edmonton Oilers team make a push for playoffs. I'm looking to buy in on Zach Hyman in all of my leagues. Moving on to the next league-winning trade target, we have Brock Nelson of the New York Islanders, someone who has taken a massive step this season. And honestly, this Islanders team out of the Trotz system has been much better offensively. He has a 56.3% Corsi for percentage, a plus 5% from 2021. The team last year had a very big down year, tons of injuries, a lot of COVID, and they struggled immensely. So it's good to see his stats up quite a bit this season. 9.6 shots per 60 plus 1.5 shots from 2021. He is currently on pace for 37 goals to match his career high and 246 shots on goal. So he's going to have an extremely high floor with a solid goal ceiling. He also has a 30% power play point percentage, which means he's on pace for about 25 power play points this season, which is very respectable for a 70% owned player. His minutes are up this year, 1843. I'm sure near the end of the season or around playoff times for fantasy, and the Islanders are going to be making a push. He's going to be close to 20 minutes per night. He's line 1, power play 1, and he's the go-to goal scorer on the New York Islanders. I love Brock Nelson. I think he's extremely sneaky, and he honestly holds no name value. The only player on this Islanders team that people are really looking at are Barzal, Sorokin, and Dobson, and no one has eyes on Brock Nelson. I think he is an extremely sneaky trade target. Moving on now to the next trade target, we have Noah Hanifin of the Calgary Flames. Another deeper league trade option. Hanifin's just 57% owned over on Yahoo. And honestly, I could pick and choose a number of players from this Flames roster that could be buy low targets right now. Mackenzie Weegar, Markstrom, Toffoli, Mangiapane. But I'm going to pick out Noah Hanifin here. 24 games played, 10 points, 63 shots on goal, 43 blocks, and 33 hits. Speaking of players with very high floors, Hanifin has one of the highest floors amongst defensemen, especially in category leagues. One of 4 defensemen with at least 60 shots, 40 blocks, and 30 hits. He has top tier category coverage with big point upside if this Flames team can turn it around, which I am confident they will. 22 minutes and 43 seconds average time on ice, very respectable for defensemen. I typically like D over 22 minutes. He's closing in on 23 right now, plus 1.5 minute increase from 2021. He's currently on pace for 215 shots, 142 blocks, and 112 hits. He has a very high floor, but you want to trade for him now before he hits his ceiling, and that's going to come when this Flames team begins to turn around offensively, and Hanifin's going to be all over that score sheet. To conclude this video, my favorite goaltender, Stuart Skinner of the Edmonton Oilers. I went back and looked at my must-own goalies video, who is thumbnailed by Stuart Skinner, and I did have a couple comments saying there is no way Skinner's going to take over this net, but I do want to put my ego away, put it in that back pocket here, because I did say Pavel Francouz was going to get half the starts for Colorado, and that hasn't been the case. Noah, if you're watching this video, you are completely right. He is not the starting goalie, but Stuart Skinner has finally, from what I am seeing, has taken over this Edmonton Oilers net, which is honestly one of the hardest nets to defend in. 9 starts in Edmonton's last 15 games, and in those last 15 games, Jack Campbell has 6 starts, a .862 save percentage, the 3rd worst in the NHL, and a .434 goals against average. So these are in his last 6 starts out of Edmonton's last 15 games. But going back to Stuart Skinner here, a .952 expected save percentage on unblocked shots, 5th best in the NHL, a .916 save percentage, 10th best in the NHL, and a .854 high danger save percentage, 8th best in the NHL. And honestly, the Oilers give up so many high danger chances that this is really not surprising. My only concern with Skinner is that goals against average, it's up over 290. But for players who rostered Connor Hellebuck in recent years, it's kind of the same thing where you're getting a goaltender that's going to face a ton of shots, but still give up goals. I don't know how good Edmonton's going to be down the stretch. McDavid and Draisaitl are on a completely another level, but they just can't really defend very well. Just imagine if this Oilers team put $5 million into a top 4 defenseman and rode with like Stuart Skinner and Thomas Greiss, for example, instead of signing Campbell. Edmonton is not good defensively, guys, so I just want to caution this. If you're struggling already in your goals against average, Stuart Skinner is not going to help out, but you can get a goaltender, a starting goaltender for a good Oilers team at just 56% ownership. Still going to say it, probably one of my best calls going into this season that he would take over this Edmonton net, and I'm happy he finally has. Edmonton should hopefully start winning games under Stuart Skinner. That'll do it for our league winning trade targets video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one.